Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. This past weekend, Floyd Mayweather did what he was expected to do against Mr. Moore, Mr. Don Moore, his ex-sparring partner in Dubai. Mayweather made over, reportedly, $15 million for that exhibition bout, which is just unheard of. But right now, he's in need of a new dance partner after confirming plans for another exhibition bout in Dubai, where Mayweather will probably make $15 to $20 million again this year. Absolutely, amazing. And this man is definitely robbing the bank. But Floyd has 5 opponents that he's tabling right now. Supposedly, he's already chosen one, but he's not disclosing that at this moment. Floyd went on to talk about how he'll bring another fight to the UAE this year. And my thing is, when it comes to Floyd, he was talking about how much money this man is making. He's been making so much money pretty much his whole career that it's not even an issue about him and taxes and everything else. Traveling, all the traveling he does all around the world, a lot of people don't understand. That's all tax write-off. Those are considered business expenses. So Floyd has to go out there and travel and spend a lot of money doing the things he does in order to be able to write off and almost zero out the profits, zero out the taxes that he had to pay on the profits that he's making every year. So when people think this man is just showboating and being annoying and cocky, no, it's actually him being intelligent and doing what he's probably been advised by a tax accountant or a tax lawyer to do, to make sure he can zero out the taxes he'd have to basically give away if he wasn't out here buying the cars and doing the traveling and going to these countries. These are all considered business expenses and tax write-off, and that's why he brings his whole team. He's not bringing his whole team because this man's scared to be alone, because he gets to write off their travel expenses and their per diem and their hotel and everything else that's associated with those trips he takes. So Mayweather is a smart man. But anyway, Mayweather says he wants to keep it a secret, and this is my thing, right? Mayweather's good about, dangling that carrot in front of his audience. He'll stay hush on an issue for 5-6 months, but he'll throw stuff out there every couple of weeks in the media just to keep everybody thinking about it, wondering about it, making sure his name is out there. He'll post little controversial videos just to again keep his name out there. He's been doing that for a while. He's a genius at it, and anyone who is bad talking Mayweather, well, that's what he wants. He just wants you talking, whether you're saying something good or bad. But one of the opponents that he has, one of the potential opponents, no one should be surprised, is Jake Paul. There's a U-turner who turned prize fighter, and he definitely looks like he wants to face Mayweather, and he's been throwing his name out there for a while. So we'll see what happens, but that would be a massive brawl. I think that would be a massive pay-per-view success, especially if Jake Paul, his brother Logan, who's 27, fought Floyd in an exhibition and actually went the distance to it. But then after that, the fight between Floyd and Jake Paul kind of went quiet. But now it looks like negotiations are taking place right now, and the only issue is just the weight. It looks like Jake Paul wants to fight, at 180, 185 pounds, and we know Floyd's not going in there doing that. He did it with his brother. I think Floyd realized, the guy's just too big for me to be in here at, 140-something pounds, 5'7", fighting a 6'1", 6'2" guy weighing 185 pounds. Especially I think Floyd knows Jake Paul is going to come in there and not necessarily have a friendly exhibition bout. Jake Paul's really going to try to knock Floyd out and do something reckless. And so for that, Floyd wants to fight because of the money. But I personally think he should not fight Jake Paul, because Jake Paul wouldn't follow the rules. And that's probably what's going to cause this fight not to happen. But we'll see. But right now, Jake Paul is a 5-0 boxer. He's kind of proven himself in the ring, but he's definitely proven himself as a pay-per-view attraction. So that's what gets Floyd's juices flowing. The second person is Pacquiao, who's 43 now. And we know that those guys sold 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, which is just unheard of and probably never, ever happen again. But potential rematch, could prove very well, especially out there and throughout Asia and throughout the Middle East. Pacquiao's loved everywhere, everywhere. Not just for his boxing, but for his for how he conducts himself outside the ring and his humanitarian efforts in his country of the Philippines. And Floyd is loved and respected all around the world for his boxing ability. So when you bring those two together, yeah, you make for a good match. But there was supposed to be a rematch between those guys back in 2018 when they ran into each other in Japan. They actually discussed it, but it didn't really sort out. But now that Pacquiao's lost the Philippine elections, there could be a comeback for the man. And I think when he retired, I think 50% of that was, I think 75% of Pacquiao's retiring was because he wanted to return home and try to run for president. But that didn't work out, so it is what it is. But then we have another issue here with Mayweather and fights. See, and this to me, I think is going to be the sticking point with fans. Although it's just an exhibition, he's looking to fight it could be another YouTuber. So first is Jake Paul, Pacquiao. Jake Paul kind of has a reputation for being a pretty good up-and-coming boxer. You got to get a man credit. Some people still think he's not proven, but at the end of the day, he hasn't kind of broke lock with being labeled as a YouTuber. But there's another guy called Money Kicks, and he's only twice boxed before, was set to face Mayweather. And so Mayweather going against Money Kicks would be a huge fight in the Middle East because of where Money Kicks is from. But again, this would be something that Mayweather would not struggle at all with this guy Money Kicks. It's just that Money Kicks is a recognizable name from the region. It could bring a lot of attention to a match. Then there's Amir Khan. We all know who Amir Khan is. He's supposedly retired, but it would be a good build-up because Khan was chasing the Mayweather fight for a long time, and Mayweather never gave it to him. Actually, Khan wasted over a year trying to get that fight. He even tried to get after Pacquiao and wasted time trying to get that fight. So a lot of people feel Mayweather ducked Amir Khan because back then Amir Khan was still in his prime. And I'm not going to say Mayweather ducked him, but I think Mayweather knew stylistically that was a horrible fight for him because Khan wasn't going to stand there, and Khan was taller, longer, and Mayweather could have struggled just trying to get to him just with Khan's speed, and not only in his hands, but his disciplined feet and foot movement and lateral movement. So if they were to fight now, I don't know, who knows? I think it'll be a good exhibition. Khan would definitely be respectful. He wouldn't go in there trying to kill Mayweather. But if Mayweather hits Khan, Khan's going to hit him back. So that's one thing we know about Amir Khan. But Amir Khan's a huge name in the Middle East. He even acts as the WBC's president, meaning he'll be the perfect fit for Mayweather. So Amir Khan's smart man, acting as the WBC's president when he's in the Middle East. Then there's Floyd Mayweather and Anderson Silva. I just don't think that's going to happen at all. But the biggest thing standing in the way of this match is just Silva fighting almost, like 30 pounds heavier than Mayweather, 40 pounds heavier than Mayweather. So let's not even count on that happening. But, it is possible, and it would make a lot of money. And again, Anderson Silva would be disciplined. He's not going to come in trying to hurt Mayweather. They'll just have a friendly sparring match, and that'll be it. So those are Floyd Mayweather's 5 candidates. You got Amir Khan, Anderson Silva, Money Kicks, Jake Paul, and Pacquiao. And we'll see what happens. But I think the biggest risk out of all 5 of these guys, the biggest risk is Jake Paul. And the reason Jake Paul is the biggest risk is because Jake Paul is a fool and won't care if he gets in there and knocks Mayweather out, hurts Mayweather. He's in there just trying to, get reviews and get his name out there. And what a feather in his cap it would be if he was able to knock Mayweather out. Even though this is exhibition, it's just for fun, not to kill each other. I know for a fact Jake Paul would go in there and do something reckless. But then after that, somebody I think would really hurt Jake Paul if he did something foolish in the ring. And it could be, lawsuits and everything else. A lot of people would celebrate if Jake Paul knocked Mayweather out because a lot of people just don't like Mayweather. But I think they need to kind of really peel the layers back to understand Mayweather, understand what he's doing. And it's just business, And unfortunately, a lot of people can't see that. And Mayweather gets a bad rap for some of the things he does. Mayweather doesn't think he's better than anybody because of the position he's in. Mayweather doesn't think he's better than anyone because of the money he has. All that money Mayweather crap, that's all crap entertainment. It's a persona that was created, a marketing strategy. So I would put that out there. I'm not a Mayweather cheerleader. My two favorite fighters are Zab Judah and Chris Bird. But I just think we need to be fair. And I think if more people paid attention to Mayweather and what he's doing, especially outside when he's not being Money Mayweather, you'll see that Floyd Mayweather is really a good person. Matter of fact, if you want to talk about guys and their antics outside the ring and things they say, just compare Floyd to Adrian Broner. Two different human beings. And I like Adrian Broner, but Adrian Broner's not Floyd. So that being said, you guys take care. Appreciate the support. Like and subscribe. And as always, shout out to the veterans, and I'm in the breeze.